The cop's voice sliced through the humid Colorado night. "Ma'am, step away from the pool cover. You're not authorized to shut this down." I stood frozen by my backyard pool, net in hand, staring at the red and blue lights flashing across my quiet street like a crime scene. 2 patrol cars blocked my gate. My dog, Rusty, barked frantically from inside. There, in a yellow sun hat, oversized sunglasses, and holding a margarita, stood Eleanor Prescott, Willow Creek Homeowners Association vice president, wrapped in a towel like she ruled the suburbs. "She's destroying our community," Eleanor shrieked, pointing at me. "She shut the pool before my party guests arrive in 15 minutes. It's a safety issue." I blinked, dumbfounded. This is my private pool in my backyard on my property. But Eleanor didn't care, storming past my gate like she owned everything. "She's trespassing," I told the officers. "I didn't invite her." The younger cop glanced at me, then at Eleanor. "Ma'am, are you saying this isn't a community pool?" "It's in my backyard," I shouted. Eleanor yelled, "She's being petty. She should be arrested for harassment." What happened next shocked even the cops, but I'll get there. First, let me explain how this insanity began, because with Eleanor, nothing was sane. I'm James Carter, a retired firefighter and widowed dad in suburban Boulder, Colorado. My daughter, Sophie, left for college last fall, and I'd been savoring my empty nest peace. I'd sunk my savings into this dream home, a wide lot with a garden, a workshop, and a sparkling backyard pool. That pool was my sanctuary: morning swims, late-night floats, barbecues with Sophie. It wasn't just water, it was healing. But peace died when Eleanor joined the Willow Creek HOA board last summer. Eleanor, mid-50s, divorced, with a yapping poodle and a habit of wearing heels to jog, acted like she owned the block. She once fined a neighbor for unapproved mailbox decals. I ignored her, paid my minimal dues, and stayed out of her way. But she hated that I skipped HOA meetings and refused to let neighborhood kids use my pool. "Share it with the community," she'd said, sipping something neon. "It'd boost our HOA ratings." "It's private property," I replied. She muttered about selfish homeowners and walked off. Trouble started when I covered the pool for a work trip, posting a "pool closed, no entry" sign to save water. I returned to find the cover askew, wet footprints on the deck, and security footage that made my blood boil. Eleanor and 3 friends with a wine cooler swimming in my pool while I was gone, taking selfies, blasting pop music. One slipped, nearly cracking her head. Furious, I printed a screenshot and confronted her. "Explain this," I said. "Relax," she scoffed. "We needed to unwind. You weren't home. You trespassed. If your pool wasn't so tempting, I wouldn't have," she snapped, slamming her door. I added locks, no trespass signs, and more cameras, planning to drain the pool for a deep clean. But Eleanor whispered to neighbors I was hiding something, hoarding the pool. Then I found flyers on my mailbox. HOA pool party, hosted by Eleanor, James's backyard, Sunday 4 p.m., free drinks. I stormed over, waving the flyer. "You invited the neighborhood to my pool. It'll boost community spirit," she smirked. "You're insane," I said. "The pool's closed." "You'll regret this," she hissed. Sunday came, and I'd half-drained the pool, securing the cover, when music blared. Eleanor led a dozen people in swimsuits toward my fence, a parade of towels and flip-flops. "Turn that off," I yelled. She raged. "You said nothing all week. Now you ruin my party." I never agreed. She tried the locked gate, then called 911, screaming about sabotage and endangering kids and elderly. Cops arrived as neighbors milled, confused. I showed my deed and footage of Eleanor's flyer stunt. "Ma'am, leave or we'll escort you," an officer said. Eleanor screeched, "I'm suing for emotional damage." Then, stunning everyone, she tore off her towel, climbed the gate, and cannonballed into the half-drained, chemical-filled pool. Water splashed, drenching an officer. Eleanor surfaced, laughing. "It's usable. Come in." But the muck and chlorine hit. She coughed, eyes burning. Officers yelled, "Get out." They pulled her out, mascara streaming, hat floating. "You're cited for trespassing," an officer said. "This could have been avoided if you'd respected his property." Eleanor stormed off, muttering about lawsuits, guests slinking away. Next morning, my driveway was egged, my sidewalks spray-painted greedy, and my mailbox gone. Granny footage showed two hooded figures, likely Eleanor's doing. Instead of raging, I baked oatmeal chocolate chip cookies and delivered them to neighbors, skipping Eleanor. "Pool's closed for maintenance," I said. "Thanks for understanding." Most nodded, one whispered. "We saw her pool jump. She's unhinged." Things calmed until an HOA letter cited improper pool usage for not sharing, violating the spirit of the bylaws. No such rule existed. I called the HOA president, Henry Larson, a conflict-averse retiree. "Eleanor's claiming discrimination against non-pool owners," he sighed. "She's pushing for a hearing." At the Thursday meeting, Eleanor swept in with neon pink flyers, "Reclaim our pool, a community right." I brought my deed, bylaws, and footage. "My pool's private," I said, showing her trespassing and damage. She lied about invitations. Gasp spread. A neighbor challenged, "You broke in?" Eleanor stammered, "A misunderstanding." Henry dismissed her complaint unanimously. Eleanor stormed out. 2 days later, a construction crew unloaded chairs, speakers, and an inflatable slide by my house with a banner, "Community Pool Day, sponsored by Eleanor." Eleanor directed workers with a walkie-talkie, my gate's padlock cut. I recorded everything, streamers on my fence, a DJ hauling gear, the broken lock. "You've lost it," I told her. "This is breaking and entering." "I'm HOA vice president, it's covered," she smirked. I called 911, reporting active trespassing. Neighbors gathered, some kids in swimsuits, parents confused. "It's my backyard," I told them. Eleanor clapped. "He's selfish. This pool's a treasure." Cops arrived, unimpressed. "You're under arrest for trespassing, vandalism, and property destruction," one said, cuffing her as she screamed. "This is abuse." Neighbors filmed, some laughing. Workers apologized and left. Eleanor vowed, "This isn't over." She sued for emotional distress and defamation, claiming my footage humiliated her. I called my friend Luke, a lawyer from fire school. Easiest counterclaim ever. He laughed, filing for trespassing, harassment, and her HOA removal. Neighbors apologized, one bringing lasagna, saying, "You're a saint for staying calm." At the next meeting, Henry announced Eleanor's suspension. Late one night, Rusty's growl woke me. Footage showed a hooded figure, Eleanor, by her wild hair, holding a gas can and lighter by my deck. "Eleanor," I shouted, flashlight raised. She dropped the lighter, stammering, "I just wanted you to feel my humiliation." "This is attempted arson," I said, pinning her until cops arrived. "She needs evaluation," an officer muttered, eyeing the gas can. Eleanor sobbed as they cuffed her. News spread. Neighbors rallied, bringing meals, fixing my fence. Henry called. "Eleanor's out permanently. We're banning claims on private amenities." I added signs and a steel gate. Eleanor's sister texted, apologizing. "She's in a facility, getting help. Thank you for mercy." I replied, "I forgive her, but she's banned from my home." The HOA's insurer offered $40,000 to stay silent. No lawsuits, no interviews. They were scared. But I'd spoken to Lisa Thompson, a homeowners' rights advocate at City Hall, presenting my evidence. Videos, reports, a brick through my window reading, "You haven't won yet." The council passed laws limiting HOA power. Eleanor's trial brought 18 months in prison and restitution. She claimed I framed her, calling Rusty evil. Nobody listened. I hosted a real pool party, with invitations and lifeguards. Rusty floated in his doggy raft. Neighbors donated leftovers to a food bank. As HOA president, I enforced transparency and private property rights. One night by the pool, I felt Ellen, my late wife, in the quiet. Sophie called. "Mom would be proud you protected us without becoming her." Peace returned, but I check my cameras nightly, not from fear, but to remember. Winning isn't just fighting, it's building a community that stands. Eleanor's reign of entitlement ended in justice, Willow Creek reformed, and James's pool stood as a symbol of resolve, proving one man's stand can protect a neighborhood's freedom.